Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one was sent in by Skaven Warlord. I wonder who he'll be playing. Yep, that tracks. So yeah, he's playing as Skaven. He's against Norsca. And this is quite a fun one, I must say. So, here, no, get away HUD. There we go. So yeah, here you can see Warp Lightning Cannon. Always nice against Norsca. You know, occasionally there's the odd Mammoth or something scary. Or even just Skin Wolves, or, you know, there's a lot of large things that are very useful. Marauder Horsemen can be a massive pain in this as well. Shoot them with a Warp Lightning Cannon. Also, very good protection here with the Council Guard. But I'd recommend putting them slightly further away, because any big spell is dropped on these guys, and you're going to lose a load of Council Guard as well as your Warp Lightning Cannon. You're just doubling up what the enemy can do. So, yeah, give him a bodyguard, but you can step away a bit, because you will see the enemy coming. So that's one recommendation. Don't put the bodyguard right on top of the units. Sure, maybe if, you know, you worry that your micro's not going to be on point, then this is the way to do it, but you are opening yourself up. So that's just one little bit of advice. So, yeah, if you think, oh, I'm probably going to miss them attacking that, then this is alright, but if you think you can be on top of it, yeah, keep a bit of a distance. And to be honest, if you do keep doing a bit of a distance, you'll get in the habit of just checking on it more often, and that will help your micro generally, keeping it in mind. So yeah, keep it back a bit, I think. Anyway, Clan Rat Spears, Skaven Slaves, just a ton of fodder, basically. Just a load of fodder, just to bog things down with. Here you can see Lord Skrulk. So he has, obviously, Lead Bubonicus, Rod of Corruption, Stand Your Ground, Vermintide to summon more rats, and Pestilent Breath, which is a great move in this one, because there's a lot of very, very high damage dealers, Berserkers, with Sodal armor, so you can kill a lot of them very quickly with this. So that is super useful. Also, an Assassin. So great to see the Assassin. So obviously he can sneak up to people with the concealment bombs. Assassin's Trophy can really help knock down a Lord or Hero. And Rival Hide Talisman just ruins the melee attack of everything nearby. It's fantastic. It's a one-off. So you want to make sure you've got a good, you know, goon squad going. You've got some good, you know, damage potential there, just so you can do way more damage than them. I mean, minus 44 melee attack, that basically means that most units won't be able to hit you. So it's really nice to have that. Also, Storm Vermin in the back. So some extra armor is super useful here, super valuable, because Berserkers do struggle against armor, and they're going to be a big damage dealer here. So having some Storm Vermin to hold things up is very handy indeed. Also here you can see there's some Rat Ogres. There's also a few gutter runners in the front. These gutter runners will really help. There's one with poison, one without. So they all have nets, so things will slow down as they get in range of them, which is really nice, and the poison will slow them down further. So these two together can deal with most infantry rather well. So, Warp Lightning Cannon, you can see, is shooting at the Skin Wolves. There's Wulfric the Wanderer in the back. Plenty of javelins to help take down things like Rat Ogres and Hell Pit Abominations. I mean, there is a Hell Pit Abomination, and there are some Rat Ogres, so perfect. Absolutely perfect. And way over here, you can see another little goon squad. You can see there's some Berserkers hiding in the forest, so they can get in without, you know, being harassed by gutter runners. Also, Norscan Ice Walls, great for slowing things down, so great for catching up to gutter runners, slowing them down so Berserkers can follow up. Skin Wolves, really nice anti-large. Don't need the armor piercing against most of the large units. It's only really things like, you know, the Screaming Bell and things that have a lot of armor that the Skin Wolves need to worry about. But even then, they don't have the best melee defense. These guys can do really well to take them down. But just having high weapon strength is going to help take out things like Rat Ogres and Hell Pit Abominations. Also, more Marauders, more Marauders. You can see a lot of chevrons on all of these guys. It will help them fight off Clan Rats really well. So, really nice to see. And also a Fire Sorcerer, because of course there is. There's always a Fire Sorcerer. So, speeding things up. You can see Norscan Ice Wolves trying to chase these guys down. They are getting slowed down a bit, but as soon as they can catch up... Oh no, maybe they can't. Oh god, 54 speed against 48 speed. Yeah, it's not looking great. More units are following up. You can see a lot of damage on this flank. This flank, though, completely unaccosted, and it's all coming in. And you can see the Lords and Heroes are just sat at the back, idle, and they're going to get attacked. And while all the confusion is happening, here's a Burning Skull, wiping out one unit of Skaven Slaves, one unit of Skaven Slave Spears, pestering the Storm Vermin slightly, but barely, and also wiping out these Skaven Slave Spears. So there they all go. 3 units completely wiped out in one spell. Very nice use of that. And not looking great for Skaven Warlord here. But he has managed to deal with these Norscan Ice Wolves. These units are now free, so he does of course have the Rat Ogres. Over here though, you can see these Skin Wolves did get into the fight, but they are just getting blasted by the Warp Lightning Cannon, which is very, very nice. A Fireball coming in for the Warp Lightning Cannons, and that has the potential to destroy one of the artillery pieces. And It doesn't. It doesn't. That is so lucky. I think it's because it's precariously on a hill. It doesn't target properly. Over here, though, Skin Wolves are getting in here, attacking Skrulk, the Assassin, and the Hell Pit Abomination, but now the Marauders are in here too. The Marauders actually do a ton of damage to things like Hell Pit Abominations, just because they have such high weapon strength. So if they can get some good hits, they will hurt. They will also mess up Skrulk and Assassin. This is very bad for this squad, because this is very cost effective for Norsca, but it does look like the Skinwolves are struggling to stay in this fight, and they are dealt with. So some clan rats being summoned in, now rat ogres are pushing in to come and help, but they realise that they need to protect the cannon, so they are having to fall back to get on top of these marauders, because holes are forming and you need to plug them up, and rat ogres are a good way to do that, because they are fairly mobile. Over here, Wulfric is getting involved, and he's fine. He has all his health, he's fine. Icehorn Marauders pushing up. You can see the Council Guard haven't been touched, but with 3 units trying to chase them, they can't block all of them. This is very bad for the Warp Lightning Cannon. And although these guys are anti-large armor piercing, Wulfric running into them will still do a ton of damage. He has so much health, he can afford to charge into the odd unit of something expensive, like the Council Guard. You can see the amount of health they just lost from him wandering in. It's pretty brutal. Here you can see Gutter Runners being chased off by the Icehorn Marauders. The front line is, well, these Storm Vermin are still holding somehow, which is pretty impressive. So they're trying to chase these guys down, and yeah, they're still holding against all of this stuff, but the back line is really compromised. That's the thing, Norsca went with a lot of cheap units, and they had great crowd control, so they were able to just shut down a bunch of the cheaper units that could help these guys at bay, and a load of units have been able to push in and get into the fight. Over here, sadly, Norscan Ice Walls have come back, and they're dealing with these units. A Fireball coming in, doing massive damage to Skrulk, but Skrulk is running off on his own in order to get a lead Bonicus on Wulfric. He needs to start whittling him down. These Rat Ogres will not hold out for long against him. Over here, sadly, the Assassin is stuck fighting these Marauder Berserkers, and it means he's not going to be able to use things like the Assassin's Trophy and things on Wulfric that can help get rid of him. So he is stuck in this fight. He's having to keep these Marauder Berserkers at bay, and he will get torn down by them eventually. So, Hell Pit Abomination coming in. Hell Pit Abomination can be perfect for dealing with something like Wulfric, but he's still got to watch out. Fireballs will hurt him a ton, and Wulfric is a hell of a fighter. And with Fight or Die here, that extra melee attack and leadership, he's going to hit pretty hard. Fireball coming in for Skrulk again, and a huge amount of damage. 100 Champions slowing him down, but nothing is following up on it. So now he's using the Rod of Corruption and moving in there. He's still got 100 Champions on him though, so running in is definitely risky. His stats are so low. He has... oh, nope, that's... oh god, I can't stay on him. I can't stay on. His stats are rubbish, guys. His stats are rubbish. So, Skaven Slave Spears trying to push in, and look at this, the Hell Pit Abomination is just getting annihilated in here. This is really rough. But luckily the Storm Vermin are still holding off a load of units. These Javelins haven't been able to get in here to help, and now more rats are being summoned just as he terrifies, which is very lucky. These clan rats can now push in and cover his retreat, and the Hell Pit Abomination is too scary not to keep on. Over here, the Assassin has been chased off, which is real sad news. And over here, though, the Warp Lightning Cannon did get knocked offline, but he is coming back. Javelins are being thrown at them, which is a little bit rough for sure. But Council Guard now coming into this fight, and oh yeah, too horrible to die. Procced. Hell Pit Abomination now has more health, and he's been able to get a ton of good hits on Wulfric. Now the Council Guard are pushing in. They take a huge amount of damage from Wulfric, but they're going to do a lot of damage in kind. They are very well suited to dealing with a big unit like that. And over here, a bit of a whiff. That's sad. That's sad, but it is enough to do a lot of damage to those Marauders, so that is good news. And Wulfric is trying to chase down the Gutter Runners, but that just means that the Hell Pit Abomination was able to kill the Skin Wolves. He was able to deal with them on their own. They're not immune to psychology. Over here, some units returning, including the Assassin, but he's not going to be all that useful in a fight, but he still has the debuffs. He can still get in here and use Trophy Heads. Nope, Assassin's Trophy. Yeah? On Wulfric the Wanderer. And the cannon's back online! The cannon is back online. Enough stuff was able to push in and deal with these javelins. They weren't able to shut down the Warp Lightning Cannon. And now, Wulfric's running. Wulfric's off. He's off, and Hell Pit's going to keep chasing. This was huge. Norsca seemed to have the advantage for so much of this fight, but, I mean, Skaven just keep coming back, and when things are too horrible to die, they're too horrible to die. So there is that. Over here you can see Lead Bubonicus was used on the Skin Wolves. They have low model count, so that's actually a really nice move. It will help shut them down pretty quickly, and it stops them being able to shut down the Warp Lightning Cannon. So it is well worth it. So they've shattered. And seriously, that was a brilliant move. Because those Skin Wolves, if they hadn't been hit with that damage, they could have come in and probably taken the Warp Lightning Cannon offline. And that would have meant you wouldn't have had a Warp Lightning Cannon. And that's a big deal. So, wiping out the rest of that unit, very nice move. Very nicely played. Here's summoned unit of Clan Rats. Sure, they kind of suck, but when Marauder Berserkers are so glass cannony, I mean, they have no health, and no health, no armor, no melee defense, they kind of suck. against cheap rubbish like this. They will get whittled down pretty quickly. So here you can see a lot of javelins just killed there. Very nice, very nice. And that's when he calls it a day. Yeah, point-blank shots with the Warp Lightning Cannon into his wizard. And if we have a look over here, Wulfric is long gone. So that is a Pyrrhic victory. Really well played. This is pretty great. Great moves by both of these players, but Skaven Warlord just managed to keep it together. That front line, you know, all those Storm Vermin, they were able to hold a fair few units at bay. And then once they finished off what they had fought, they were able to come back in and support, which, God, they needed to, because the whole back line was compromised. But Skaven being Skaven, all the gutter runners constantly netting things, slowing things down, Skrulk coming back, you know, summoning more units to be able to cover his escape, it just meant that nothing was getting shut down hard enough to be able to get the advantage. So, you know, Norsca, they had that whole back line flooded, but they weren't able to follow through. They weren't able to finish off anything in a big way. Things just kept rallying, and it just slowly took its toll. The fact that the Warp Lightning Cannon was able to come back online, that did some great damage. And that's a real shame for Norsca. That's a real shame. You shut that thing down, you need to make sure you shut it down for good. And that means getting things like your Ice Wolves on top of it. That's the thing. Sometimes you just need to keep your Ice Wolves and your Skin Wolves back. Sure, they can catch out the Gutter Runners, but don't even try. You've got a load of Marauders. Let the Marauders just soak up fire from the Gutter Runners, and don't worry about it. Get yourself stuck in. These guys could have charged straight down the middle and got into, you know, all the expensive units, and the Gutter Runners would have been busy trying to deal with the front line. So, you know, there's ways around it, but I think that flank, although it seemed great, you know, get on top of the Hell Pit Abomination, get on top of the Lords and Heroes, it was too few units. You would have been better off, given the space between the front line and the back line, deal with the front line fully. You know, get those rear charges, get the Norscan Ice Wolves and the Skin Wolves to charge into the rear of the Storm Vermin, free up your entire front line to push forward, and the numbers advantage would have just been enormous. Absolutely enormous, and everything would have been singled out after that. So I think that's how you should do it. If there is space between the back and front line, just try and deal with what you can as quickly as possible. It seemed like there's a hell of an advantage after, yeah, Shaman Sorcerer got 292 kills. But, yeah, sometimes you just need to just bully one unit at a time. You've got the maneuverability with these kinds of units. But Skaven Warlord played great, though. And, of course, you do want to keep some distance between your front and back line, because you want to keep your artillery protected. That's what you really want to do. So, there is that. So yeah, hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. And yeah, we're getting a lot of Skaven-themed players sending me Skaven replays recently, and a lot of them, you know, they haven't gone overboard with all the DLC units, which I really like to see. They're more traditional builds, because these are more reliable. If you're just going all guns all the time, people know how to deal with that now. They're just going to bring a really wide army, and they're going to get on top of you straight away, and all your guns will die. You know, that's what's happening. People know how to deal with it now. So bring these more sort of old-school armies. They're working great these days. They're working really well, which, yeah, a bit of a pity. There's a lot of great DLC units, but it doesn't mean he couldn't have swapped out the Warp Lightning Cannon for Natty Bubo Sharpshooters or something. There are other things you can do. But this was great. This is absolutely wonderful. I love to see it. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.